What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro. Games and raids are finally back. That's right. We have a brand new 7-star raid for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and I'm here to break it all down for you. And of course, guys, if you like this type of content, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it, and consider joining the Pan fam today by hitting that join channel member button below. So let's break it down. Our next 7-star Tera raid is going to be the Fairy Tera type Delphox, which is running from July 7th to July 9th, and again a week later from July 14th through July 16th. This was pretty much leaked months ago that the Delphox was going to be fairy, but I'm glad we have the Delphox finally coming, considering what happened with all the raid errors and glitches. I was really worried we were not going to be getting Delphox or Rillaboom, but it looks like we're back on track and finally getting these. Now, just like all the other 7-star raids, the Delphox won Fairy Tera, so it's going to have the fairy typing, but it's also going to have the Mightiest Mark is the only way to get the Mightiest Mark as well. So make sure that you pick which Pokeball you want to catch this thing in, because you can only catch it once, but you can keep defeating it for the raid rewards. I'm personally going to assume it's either going to have like calcium or maybe like whatever the Spadef up vitamin is, because I don't think we've actually seen that one yet. So we may get that, which would be really cool, but this is going to be great for farming, for all the money items, for the experience items, and of course whatever vitamin available as well. And there's always going to be a small chance of getting an ability patch. So hopefully we can get some nice patches off this thing. And I'm just really excited for this because honestly, Delphox has a phenomenal shiny line. So look at this. We got one Fennekin. This Fennekin shiny is absolutely phenomenal. And then Braxton gets the purple going on, which I think is absolutely gorgeous as well. And then lastly, shiny Delphox looks really sick and awesome. I'm a big fan of it. So this is definitely going to be a big one for a lot of people who have not caught a Fennekin from past Pokemon games and transferred over in Pokemon Home and breed for it. This is going to be our time to shiny hunt for a shiny Fennekin line and get that full shiny family. So this is going to be really exciting for a lot of people. Now, the 7-star Tera Fairy Delphox will have its hidden ability, Magician. Now, Magician doesn't really have a lot going on for it. Magician essentially just does this: Pokemon steals the held item from any target it hits with a move. I actually don't know how this is going to work in a raid battle, considering it can only hold one item in general, and it's not going to be starting off of an item. I guess it's going to steal the item of the first Pokemon it hits during the raid and take it, which is going to be really interesting considering speed tiers and all that. So this is something we're going to have to consider within the raid planning, especially for the one-hit KO stuff for this raid. But I think overall, Magician may just not work for raids. So we'll have to wait and see on that. We just have not really experienced his ability in raiding, period. Now, looking at the base stats of Delphox, it has a total of 534, but it does have some pretty obvious weaknesses that we can try to exploit here. Now, its HP is 75, which is not that great overall. And then when you combine that with a defense stat of 72, that's really bad. So we can try to exploit its physical defense to try to get a one-hit KO going on it. I think this is probably going to be the best method to do it, but I'm sure there's going to be other methods as well. And I'll break that down in a future video. A 69 attack pretty much means it's not going to be a physical attacker, and if it does have any physical attacking moves, that's going to be an absolute blessing, so I'm all here for it. But let's be real, we live in reality. It's going to be using that 114 special attack stat, and it has a really good Spadef stat of 100 as well. So hitting on the special side is going to be a little bit harder for us, so we're going to have to watch out for that, maybe adjust some plans and calculations accordingly. But 114 special attack is nothing to scoff at, so I would not recommend bringing Pokemon that have really low Spadef stats in general. And 104 speed is definitely problematic. This means it's going to outspeed a lot of the meta threats right now in the raid meta, so we're going to have to watch out for it turning, essentially attacking us before we can attack it on turn 1, which could definitely determine the fate of the battle. Now, we know that is a Tera Fairy, so it does not have the weaknesses that it had before of the fire and psychic typing. It is now only going to be weak to poison and steel. Here's the issue: it is normally a fire and psychic type. So steel types are weak to fire, and poison types are weak to psychic. So this is actually complete threat. This is a perfect Tera typing for this Delphox, and we can actually further determine that by looking at its moveset. So looking at the Scarlet and Violet moveset, we know it's going to be a special attacker, so we don't have to look at any of the physical attacking moves for sure. So what are some interesting moves that it learns on level up? Well, Mystical Fire down here is its signature move. It was its only like signature move in the past, but other Pokemon have gotten it. but I actually do expect signature move Mystical Fire being used here. 75 damage is pretty good, but the big thing is it lowers the special attacking stat by 1. So if it does outspeed and lowers their special attacking stat, this is going to be actually really problematic for a lot of special attackers in the meta, but we can probably easily say it's going to have Mystical Fire for sure. Now, some other great moves that it learns Flamethrower, so that's a better fire move that doesn't miss. Could learn Fire Blast for the raid. It does miss, but it does more damage. Psychic and Psyshock are going to be great. I could actually see it having Psyshock because it would actually hit the physical defense of a Pokemon instead of the special defense like normal special attacking moves. But Psychic, of course, is another great possibility here as well. Shadow Ball is a good coverage move. It could have that. Makes a lot of sense. It even learns it by level up. And normally for these raids, a lot of these Pokemon use moves that they learn by level up as well. Now, looking at some of the status moves it learns on level up, I mean, Light Screen is interesting. It can set up screens. Sunny Day to increase that fire damage. Will-O-Wisp to burn physical attackers, which would be pretty devastating overall. Now, when we look at the egg moves, I don't really see anything too great here. I mean, Heat Wave, sure, but Flamethrower, in my opinion, is just better than Heat Wave. So if it has Heat Wave, I think that's a blessing because that 10% accuracy drop versus Flamethrower, it's not too much of a threat. Hypnosis is scary, but 60% accuracy, not too scary, let's be real. Now, I think it gets really interesting when we look at the TN moves it gets. So let's ignore all the physical moves. I don't think anything will be remotely relevant here. So Mud Slap, probably not. Psybeam, it learns on level up, so probably. Nightshade, probably not. Dazzling Gleam is 100% going to be on this moveset. So now we're at Mystical Fire, Psychic or Psyshock, and then Dazzling Gleam. So we're at 3 moves right here. Shadow Ball, that's 4 moves. So that's that 4 attacking moves this thing can really have right here. Fire Blast, Blast Burn, probably not. Overheat, probably not. Focus Blast. Now, instead of Shadow Ball, it could be holding Focus Blast. Now, Focus Blast would be another great way to remove Steel-type Pokemon, so it could do that as well. Shadow Ball is the better move for its coverage, though, so we'll just have to wait and see between the two. It could have Tera Blast as well, since it is Tera Fairy. It could have Tera Blast instead of Dazzling Gleam, which literally would not matter. They both do 80 damage, and they don't have any additional effects. Now, it does learn a lot of great support moves, which can be really terrifying for a lot of different setups. Charm is pretty scary, lowering our physical attack stat. Once again, Sunny Day is another one. Reflect and Light Screen, if it sets up screens on us, that could really hurt our momentum on it. Substitute doesn't really work on raids. Will-O-Wisp, as I mentioned before. Now, the 2 really scary ones, we haven't even got to the actual scary ones yet, is going to be Calm Mind. And similar to how Chestnut worked, where it had the turn 0 Iron Defense, it could have a turn 0 Calm Mind, increasing its special attack and special defense by 1 stage, which would be really hard, and that could ruin a lot of special attacking turn 1 setups, which, you know, we're going to have to calc for that because, let's be real, a lot of these Tera Pokemon do get that turn 0 move, so I can totally see a Calm Mind going off. Now, the other move it could go off would be Nasty Plot. We could see a turn 0 Nasty Plot. Now, Nasty Plot would make it +2 special attack, but it doesn't buff its special defense, so this wouldn't necessarily affect the turn 1 strats I've been thinking about, but it would definitely make the raids harder if you don't have a good strategy going on, because as that +2 is going to be nuking us really hard, and we don't want to deal with that, especially that 104 speed, outspeeding most of the Pokemon out there. This is going to be problematic. So Delphox is nothing to scoff at. This could be one of the harder Tera raids that we have seen. And I want to mention Psychic Terrain further boosts the damage of Psychic attacks, also stops priority attacks, which actually can matter. I mean, that means no Prankster Pokemon can be working, like Prankster Grimmsnarl, so you can't really set up screens before the Delphox attacks. So we're going to have to keep that in mind as well. But let me know in the comment section below what Pokemon you think is going to be absolutely phenomenal against the Delphox. I'm going to tell you guys this. Heat Train is going to be the absolute best counter for this thing, and look out for my next video where I'm going to break down all the counters that you should build to defeat these 7-star Tera Fairy Delphox. I do think it's going to be a hard raid in general, but with these strategies upcoming, we're going to be able to one-shot this thing on turn 1 with a lot of these different Pokemon, but also just in general, even with random online lobbies, you'll be doing a lot of great work too. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, and have a good one.